What if the thing you think is helping you is actually the thing keeping you stuck? David, William, Pierce, welcome back. And recently I celebrated 50 days transformed. See, at the start of May, I decided to run an experiment on myself. I wanted to see what would happen if I stopped reaching for the things that had quietly become automatic ways of changing my state. So I said no to marijuana, said no to alcohol, to pornography, to mushrooms of the magical variety and other mind-altering substances, party drugs, and no to ejaculation. That's right, I am currently 50-something days no nut. Now, before you think this is a video about sobriety or semen retention, it is not. Because what I've realized over the last 50 days is what I was really retaining wasn't sobriety or semen or even discipline, it was attention. One of the teachings I've been studying in non-dual Shiva Tantra recently says that whilst most people become fixated on the subject or the object, it is the yogi who becomes interested in the relationship between them. In other words, most people focus on the thing, but it's by focusing on your relationship to the thing that creates change, and that can shift everything. Because freedom is not found in having no limits. Freedom is found in recognizing that you have the capacity to choose your relationship to the thing that once unconsciously controlled you. What surprised me most about these last 50 days is that the restrictions didn't really feel restrictive. And 50-something days in, I'm feeling great. It felt kind of freeing. It still feels freeing. By creating boundaries around behaviors that had become automatic, I've created enough space to see myself more clearly. And what I found wasn't necessarily uncomfortable. One of them being that I've been carrying anger and frustration more than I'd realized. See, when you take the substance, you take the thing, you take the distraction away, you don't allow yourself to indulge in it, it reveals what's actually bubbling underneath the surface, which then gives the opportunity to deal with that thing. And something like anger and frustration is something I suspect many men are carrying too. The difference is most men never slow down long enough to actually witness it until something happens that just pushes them over the edge and they react violently, aggressively, even if not physically. They stay busy, they reach for stimulation, and so the deeper thing underneath never gets the chance to be seen until it explodes. For me, removing the distractions revealed what was waiting underneath. Not because the habits were the problem, but because they were helping me avoid the underlying issue. And that's been one of the most valuable insights of this entire experiment. Part of me believed these habits were helping me. Part of me believed I was better with them than without them. Or what I'm beginning to realize is that many of those beliefs were simply stories, fabrications. And stories can change. This is why I've become increasingly convinced that discipline is the path to freedom, not because discipline is the goal, not because it's the destination, but because it's the bridge. Ask any great athlete, any great musician. Nobody achieves mastery without structure and practice. The scales aren't the point, the music is. Practice serves expression. Structure serves freedom. Eventually, the athlete gets to play, the musician gets to improvise, the structure disappears into embodiment, and that's how I see this experiment. Will I maintain these boundaries indefinitely? No. It's the idea isn't about completely removing them from your life, unless, those things are so destructive for you that is the best choice. It's about coming into a healthy relationship with it. Why spend your entire life playing scales when eventually you can enjoy indulging in jazz. Right now, these boundaries are serving me. They're helping me understand myself and become more conscious of where my attention goes. But when that stops being true, then my relationship gets to change with them again. And increasingly, that's becoming the thing I'm interested in most. It's the relationship, the intimacy. And it's not just substances that I've witnessed in these 50 days, but social media has been a big part of where my attention is going. YouTube, content consumption, the endless stream of information competing for our attention in every moment of every day, relentlessly. Because attention is life. It is currency. Where attention goes, energy flows. And what you're repeatedly giving your attention to ultimately shapes who you become. Tony Robbins says this: you become the product of, the 6 people you surround yourselves with. So make sure you're surrounding yourself with good people. Make sure you're consuming good content. So let me leave you with this week's contemplation. Where was your freedom hidden this week? Where did you automatically react from habit, conditioning, or familiar stories? And where, perhaps only briefly, did you notice a moment of space, of choice, of awareness or possibility that allowed you to respond differently? Because maybe freedom isn't something we find. Maybe freedom is something we remember. And perhaps that's what transformation really is. Not becoming someone else, but remembering who you've always been beneath the stories, the habits, and the conditioning. So if this is something that you're curious to explore, transformational conversationalist is the thing I do. I illuminate what's underneath the surface. You can head to the link in the description, book to have a call. Now, if you're a midlife man navigating change, uncertainty, relationships, or confidence, I invite you to join The Edge. It's a free monthly online forum where good men come together to explore the challenges they're facing. It's free. The idea is come with a challenge and leave with a greater perspective. It is a condensed version of the Transformed Man program work that I've been curating, not just for myself, but for my private clients in a group setting. You can find the details for that again, follow the link in the description, or you can send me the word EDGE on Instagram or write it in the comments and I can send you some more information. So thank you for being here and I'll see you in the next transmission. Cheers.